Hi, this is Hamza Siddiqui and you're watching Middle Passage. In order to fully understand Middle Passage, we must understand the importance of sugar. The most profitable aspect of European colonies in America since the 1400s. Now, for the sake of profit, Europeans needed cheap laborers to cultivate sugar in their plantations. For this, they turned to the west coast of Africa where they captured and sometimes bought cheap slaves and carried them as cargo on their ships as they sailed all the way to America over the Atlantic Ocean, to name the Caribbean, Brazil, and later the modern-day United States for cotton cultivation. Note, Portuguese and British had been conducting slave trade hundreds of years before the southern United States jumped in the late 1700s for cotton. Back in Africa, Africans were treated as mere goods and crammed in cargo space on ships with no room for breathing and stretching. One person had less room than a body in a coffin. Such conditions led to unsanitary environments and topped up with a low-poor diet in small portions and about a pint of water a day that was provided, led to malnutrition and gave rise to diseases and death. 10 to 15 million slaves were transported through Middle Passage this time, of which 15% died on the way from cruelty and brutality they suffered in captivity over the sea. As if being shackled together in pairs with no room for toilet wasn't enough for 6 to 13 weeks, slaves were brutally whipped daily to make them exercise. Also, they were forced to clean the ship and suffered physical and sexual abuse by the hand of the crew and the captain as part of their daily routine, even if they obliged. They were only allowed on deck a couple hours a day when land was out of sight, still tied in chains. Slave revolts ended in brutality and brought more suffering and death on the captives whenever happened. Many lost morale and committed suicide by jumping overboard to be free of the horrors of the journey that stayed ahead. Towards the end of passage, it was important that the slaves looked healthy and fit as possible so they would fetch the highest prices. Slaves were washed with water, rubbed with palm oil. The ones with gray hair had their heads shaved to look young. Wounds from the Middle Passage were filled up with tar, gunpowder, or rust. Slaves who were sick were treated brutally to hide signs of illness. At the end of Middle Passage, the slaves would arrive in West Indies or America. They were sold by auction to the highest bidder. Those who were not sold were sold at a scramble, where buyers rushed forward to grab the lot they wanted to buy. Posters advertising slave auctions would go up as soon as the ships arrived. A few ships crossed the Middle Passage without any deaths. Some ships lost most of their cargo. The average losses were between 10 and 20% through sickness, suicide, and even murder at the hands of the slave crew and captains. 10 means over a million Africans died on board the ships, and 20% represents over 2 million deaths in total.